Welcome to the first episode of Poetry and Story Inspired by Landscape and Myth. My name is Monica Corish. In 2019, Brendan Murray, director of the Glen Centre, invited me to lead a series of community writing workshops at the Glens. The workshops were inspired by the myths associated with Samhain, Imbolc, Baoth and Lunacy, and by the storied landscapes of the Northwest. Most of the readings you'll hear tonight and in the next 3 broadcasts were written during these workshops, but we also include a few more recent pieces written in response to the coronavirus and the new abnormal in our lives. The Celtic calendar begins with the descent into the dark, with Samhain, Halloween, the Day of the Dead. Samhain is a time when the veil between the worlds is thin, a liminal space betwixt and between, when physical and psychic borders blur. We start tonight with a poem from Shane Levy, reflecting on another time of separation. This is followed by Samhain-inspired work from Tom Sigafoos, Dermot Cliff and Margaret Timoney. Then we have a song written by Mooney and performed by Tara and Maggie Kilcoyne. It's based on the 18th century lament Cuoine Arthaí Líre, composed by Eileen Dovnegonal. We finish with poems from Paula Hef and Tara Mooney and a short memory piece from me. This event is a fundraiser for Northwest Stop, which provides counselling support for people at risk of suicide. If you would like to support this vital work, please make a donation through their website, northweststop.ie. And now I invite you to sit back and enjoy poetry and stories inspired by the landscapes and myths of Samhain.
Hi, I'm Shane Levy. I lived some years ago in Japan and I was struck by the lack of physical contact in a country where people are more likely to bow than to shake hands. And with the pandemic today, we're unable to touch again. So this is called Reflecting on Another Time of Separation. 2 months on, in the land of bowing, of dragonflies and rice paddies, I lay awake uneasy, discovering a need that I did not suspect, the masculine clasp of hand in hand, of brothers, father, friends and that, and hugs from friends, mother, sister. My flesh demanded others' pressure. At work each day I boomed good morning, my workmates beamed, half bowed with nods, but never handshakes, never hugs. A world of distant courtesy, of straight back bending, smiling, knees locked vertical, like medieval courts of Europe, still alive in Nagasaki. There I, so distant and polite, found to my surprise and need to touch and hold, embrace and squeeze. Today I only see my friends on screens. My body protests. The flesh needs more than courtesy.
Hello, my name is Tom Sigafoos. Here in the Northwest, we live on the borders between provinces, between countries, between the land and the sea. A few years ago, I participated in a ceremony where a couple of small furry creatures crossed those borders. The story about that ceremony is called Seal Release. The procession from the parking lot to the beach seems almost biblical. We make our way down the lopsided concrete steps, following clusters of children who carry 2 rectangular plastic tubs that look like Arks of the Covenant. As the wind kicks up, we draw our coats tighter, hoping for a moment of warmth from the dim November sun that sulks behind the clouds. The children place the tubs on the cold sand about 20 yards from the water. A woman asks us to form 2 lines between the tubs and the shore. We arrange ourselves like guests at a wedding, parents and children, older couples, curiosity seekers, about 100 in all. The woman asks us to stay in place so that everyone can see. A man and a woman lift the wire mesh lids from the tubs and tip them toward the sea. Dark and plump, 2 young seals slide out onto the wet sand. They were skinny little things last summer, someone says. Big heads and tails, but not much in between. A boy from Glencalmkeel had found them huddled on the beach after a windstorm. They were taken to the Irish Seal Sanctuary near Dublin, and the volunteers have fattened them up on a diet of herring. We ask each other how the pups will fare on their own. Don't they need a mother to teach them how to catch fish? No, it doesn't work that way, says a sanctuary worker. Their mothers only suckle them for about a month and then they abandon them. Abandon them? That's what they do. Their mothers swim away and leave the pups on the shore. Sometimes they wait for her to come back for almost a week. When they get hungry enough, they go into the water. Most of them teach themselves how to find something to eat. We brood for a moment over this unsentimental information. Abandoning pups seems like something that jackals or hyenas might do, not the friendly-looking seals with the glint of intelligence in their eyes. The pups begin boosting themselves along the sand toward the water. One has second thoughts and he veers toward the nearest line of people. The sanctuary worker shoos him back with the tub lid. We start clapping to encourage them, and the pups pick up speed. Their eyes look earnest, determined, worried, almost human. The one who tried to turn aside now stays close to the other, a little behind, but within a flipper's reach. As the pups reach the water line, we break ranks and run down to watch. The bolder one hesitates, then pushes into the low breakers while the other pursues him like a shadow. They start and stop several times, reluctant to abandon the feel of the sand under their bellies. Then, sensing the rhythms of their watery world, they swim out at an angle, heading for the horizon until they disappear into the waves.
My name is Dermot Lahiff. The poem I would like to read for you is Celtic Journey. This is inspired by the notion that culture, tradition, and myth influence who we are. We are not a set of fragmented divisions. As humans, we are a combination of mind, body, and spirit, united in seeking out meaning. Celtic Journey. Clouds strewn majestic on calm water arrayed, snowdrop white heaped on layers grey, vibrant reflections in the lake, merging sky and shoreline, contours, vistas cast that drift then change, with varied light and prevailing breeze, subdued in Samhain's dim days, dark nights, until Imbolc sows the seeds of hope, sprouting optimism in the reawakening, affirmed by each dawn ever brightening, and the sower's sorcery on fertile soil, propagating reassurance as reward for toil. Then the magic of the universe unfolds in Baoth. Mother Nature reveals her benevolence, inspiring Lunas's festive dance. Gratitude for spring's planting is harvested. Each season's change inspires the spirit to reach into the depths of soul in search of what is meaningful and appreciate the meaning of life, aware there is much to do in time allotted, as life seems condensed to a single year.
Hello, my name's Margaret and this piece is called Border. Where are those great men who built the border? The men who decided who goes where and when, who stays? Can we look to the House of Lords or the House of God? Creators of heaven and earth, all that is seen and unseen. Where is your arbitrary border? Now you see it, now we don't. It is not there, yet, like the mountains and rivers, it stands firm, looms large, runs deep. As children, we couldn't trace the border on any map, but we could feel it. We felt it in our schools, in our communities, and in our homes. We heard it in our names, in our songs, and in the news flashes that told of one more dead. We saw it in our clothes, in our festivals and flags. It chose our sports for us and picked our friends. We ate the border for lunch, dinner and tea. and tasted its bitterness and mistrust. The border defined our territories, where we played and where we knew better than to tread. The border mapped our journeys for us, over unapproved roads twisting like cow tracks, where the grass had ears and never knew who was listening. The border planned our holidays for us, some taking willingly and others imposed. The border was our matchmaker. It signed us on and wrote us off. The border knew a man who knew a man. It had special treatment for those who ignored recommendations. The border sleeps softly now, and like an old dog, we let it lie.
Mastar magra tar megdal Shaulo magra makri Gedangen la da wachatu Achianti anwarga hug mahularet de will so mahirlat wado
Hello, my name is Paula Hef and I'm going to read you my poem, Cailleach Time. In Irish mythology there are 3 states of womanhood, the maiden, the mother and the crone, or Cailleach in Irish. I am that wise woman now, the woman to whom other women come for advice and knowledge. This poem recounts how I feel at this time of my life. Cailleach time. I am in my Cailleach time, time of wisdom and knowledge, time to seek out the dark growth. Seeds of spring are growing, getting ready to emerge, free from bondage, free from fear. This is my Cailleach time, time to give thanks for harvest, time to celebrate with the dead, time to bonfire the old and kindle the new. The doors are unlocked now. A breeze plays with my soul. The hungry grass rumbles. Bread is broken and shared. I give thanks.
Hi, I'm Tara Mooney, and this piece is a response to the call of grief. The poem moves between two places in time. The night that my brother's body returned home to us after being missing for 2 years, and the memory then of us gathered together for Halloween as children. And it's called Skeletons and Apples. An apple is hanging from the rafter. Green string, red apple, white bite. Movement around this slow sway. Dance, duet, avoid, move. In pageantry, for all time, pirouette. The same people are gathered here. 6 of us who used to be 7. You arrive in a willow box, hidden in a birthing sack, half your bones contained, zipped up, a bag of bones, a bag of bones. We all waited for you to jump up and jangle, pirouette, dance, to give us a pageantry of comedy to fix us from your loss, your terrible loss. All 6 as useless scaffolds, bowed under the weight of your absence, damaged, unsteady, suspicious, facing each other with not seeing eyes, glassy from spilled sadness. Suspicion hovers around sadness, cauterizing, to turn it off, evacuate, eliminate. Skeletons and apples, and you. The missing ones do not count until they return home. You arrive, banging the door, howling through the house like a wounded beast in a field, eating my fear that might emerge in the night from the corners, cadavers, shadows, the missing parts, eviscerate and animate. Pulling you, touching you, wishing there was flesh on you to soften those hard, cold bones, trying to fold your dinosaur rattle in an embrace, to hold, to feel the edge of what you are now and make it truth, make it real, proof, like the torn side that Thomas probed, proof. The fingertips of a blind woman crawling along the shape of her dead child's body. Proof. Everybody's dead child is here. Everybody's sadness spilling.
In Spanish-speaking countries, All Saints' Day, November 2nd, is the Day of the Dead, and that, in my woeful Spanish, is the title of this piece, Dia de Muertos. I wake on my first morning to a valley filled with cloud, white as swan's down. My friend tells me there is a lake in the valley, but for now I must take it on faith. I set out to walk the village, rock built on rock in the foothills of the Pyrenees. I pass a bakery, see elderly residents shuffling the steep, narrow roads to buy their daily bread. I pass a bar, open only at weekends. This village, I'm told, dozes through the week, comes alive on Friday nights with adult offspring home from the city, the children of the shuffling elders, and the children's children staying up late, racing round the plaza. I walk to the edge of the village. It's early November, the trees have turned, gold and amber, but not a single leaf has fallen. No wind to shake them loose, no storm. The air is crisp, the leaves suspended, waiting. I come upon a pomegranate tree, crimson-rich fruits burst open. Beaded flesh spills, the ground is sticky with seed and juice. In the limpid stillness, this tree is an overflowing, a pregnancy come to ripeness. We eat lunch sitting on my friend's small patio. Bread, goat's cheese, black olives. The air is clear, the mountains sharp against the blue ache of the sky. The lake is a mirror far below, unruffled by wind or rain. That evening, I walk again, come upon the cemetery. The dead are stacked in boxes on shelves, their bones dug loose after years in the earth, washed clean with wine. Red candles warm the night, flickering in every nook. Thank you for journeying with us through Samhain. Remember, this event is a fundraiser for Northwest Stop, and you can donate through their website, northweststop.ie. We thank Brendan Murray, Artistic Director of the Glens, for his enthusiastic support for this project, and we also thank Technical Manager Cormac Carroll and Cinematographer Jonas Dello for adding polish and shine to our homemade lockdown audio and video recordings. We hope you can join us again next Friday at 8 for poetry and stories inspired by Imbolc and by Bridget, Goddess and Saint.